Well, hello, everybody. Happy Thursday, July the 13th. I just realized that's a goddess number today, and it is 1:11 p.m. here in Calgary, Alberta, and it is 3:11 where my beautiful special guest is today. I want to introduce him to all of you while you're gathering, and when you come in, please say hello, be cordial to my friend here as I share his introduction. Louie Otero. I'm so excited to have this beautiful friend here. Louie is one of my friends that I met at Angel Camp. I was trying to figure out whether it was 2014 or 2015. It was one of the very last Angel Camps that Doreen Virtue had in the US. She had had one in Hawaii before she retired from the community. And it was an amazing event. Louie has his own show on 1-2 Radio. And angels and guidance from the angelic realm have been part of Louie's life for as long as he can remember. Indeed, this connection has been a major force shaping his life and direction. Early in his life, he realized the power and comfort of connecting with the angelic realm and committed, to channeling messages for others and teaching individuals how to make their own personal connection with their guides and angels. And when I was Googling him last night, I found this really beautiful saying. He says, "I will be spiritual, mystical, contemplative, and transcendent without apology, for this is who I am. So I pray, heal, guide, and be the best illumination to others that I can be." And that is your quote, my friend.
Yes, it is. It is. It is my quote.
I love that. Welcome, Louie, to the show.
I quoted that a long time ago. Thank you for, it's really funny when we do our bios, we really forget our bios.
Right.
We really work on it. I remember really working on it. I remember being totally petrified of even putting myself out there. It's like you make your whole thing and you hit send on the computer when it was like, the Google slow, anyway, it's just, thank you for sharing that. I'm going to look in my bio again because I'm going to use that again because it's absolutely the truth about me and my energy.
I love that so much.
Louie, and that's being honest. Yeah.
Yeah. When you say, so I pray, heal, guide, and be the best illumination to others that I can be.
And now, when I say heal, I don't want everybody to take the context of healing as like a miracle thing, like what Jesus did for the millions. For me, is healing your spirit, guiding you, healing your mind to the best ability that you can do. I'm just there to be the guide, the support, the system that channels you to do what's good for yourself. And then you channel that and you use that information, you use that knowledge for yourself. And, you can become spiritual healer as well. Because we take the healing out of context, because the medical world it's a whole big scientific thing. I don't want to go, that'll take a whole hour. So I always explain when I say healing, and I always tell people it's healing you on the spiritual aspect, spiritual level. Physically, yes. Mentally, yes, depending on where you're at, and that's how it works,
Right. So I guess let's start right at the top, Louie.
Sure.
Because what I love, there's so many things that I love about you. But
thank you. I love you too. I love you too.
One of the major things that I was sharing yesterday was, the fact that you're a male in this predominantly female world.
I'm used to it. I can tell you why. I have been in the feminine energy since I was 17, 18 years old. I've been in the beauty industry as long as you can think of, and I'm still in the industry. So being part of that feminine energy I'm very comfortable with it. It doesn't bother me, doesn't faze me, and all my friends know who I am. So my point is that being that this is an industry, or I just say the spiritual world is very, very influenced by the female entities, the female energies, the goddesses, like Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, all those energies that come in. And women are very attached to that energy because women, to me, are very intuitive, automatic. Men are, but men tend to be more in their brain.
Right.
And instead of their okay, not that men are not in their heart, they're just more in their brain. They're very analytical. They like to analyze, they like to solve, they like to take that algebra problem and de just deconstruct it, where a woman will just trust her intuition and the guidance that come to them. And that's a female trait that women have automatically, and it just I think it's because women are a vessel of pure love and pure energy. Not saying men don't, because men are the same. We have warm hearts, but I think in society, men tend to be torn from that energy. Like we're yanked from that energy.
And don't you think that, like you were mentioning with Mother Mary, it's that mothering energy, and I think
Yeah.
males are more nurturers, and that's what I love about the males being in this world, is that they're in touch with their divine feminine. It's a beautiful thing, because that's what makes us, is that divine masculine and that divine feminine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I talk to a lot of guys, and they have their own, way of speaking about masculinity, and their femininity is on a different level, and they don't like to use the word at all, or never is ever being said. But things are changing now. That vibration of femininity is coming very, very strong. It's everywhere. It's in all the cultures of the world. It's just that energy is just awakening, and it's not softening men. I don't want people to think that because of you tell a man he's effeminate or whatever the case may be, that
Right.
it's like dismasculating him if he believes in angels, or he wants to pray, or he wants to do things that are open or not seen. You know what I'm saying?
I love that, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. Both of us come from Italian backgrounds,
Oh yeah,
and
very. Mm-hmm.
right, there's that
Yeah.
machismo
Oh
that,
yeah.
oh, I have to be a man, and if I talk to angels, or if people know that I talk to
Mm-hmm.
angels, then there's something wrong, or shame around it. And there isn't. And that's what I loved. I was sharing yesterday about Angel Camp, to be with 600 people, and
Mm-hmm.
forgive me if I'm wrong on the number, but I thought that was how many that there were there. And to be with so many like mind, like hearts, I told you, like, I felt like I had awoken in a piece of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew without a shadow of a doubt this was the work that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was my very first angel lady, and we have angels all over my mom and dad's house. And so I always loved the angels. Did you
Mm-hmm.
have that kind of experience?
With my mom, I had a very, very endearing, loving relationship with my mom growing up. I was her shadow. So basically, wherever mom went, I went. She went on vacation, I followed. I was a tag along. I was a shadow. That's just the way I was with my mother, as opposed to my sisters and my brother. It was a little different for them. But I remember when my mom passed away, and I was at the funeral, and when we left the funeral and we were in the back of my house, when we were doing the repast, because we did it in the house, because usually they do it at restaurants, or they do it at a place like a wedding event kind of place.
Right.
But being my family's we're from Italy, part of me is Spanish, so Spain, they tend to have it in the house. So people brought everything into the house. They still do that. But when I see that in movies, I always think about my mom, because I remember my father telling me and my sisters and my brother that my mom loved us individually in her own way. No one is above anyone else.
Right.
So, but he said the only thing is this one, that's me, was her eye. No, that's what he said. This one was her eye. So, and that really got me upset. I cried, but thinking about it chokes me up. But my point is that my mom had a lot of like Christmas was big for her, and that angel aspect of Christmas was, my house was decorated like crazy, with angels. And it's really funny because I have some pieces of hers that I never got rid of. As beat up as it is, how ugly as they might be, I still keep them, I save them, and sometimes I display them. I'm actually trying to find a friend, or I'm looking for, not a friend, but a person that can restore the 1960s, 50s, and maybe early 70s kind of artifacts of angels Christmas stuff, because I've been looking, I've been Googling, I've been, eBaying, trying to find these certain angels, but they're not to be found. But it's okay. It's okay.
So how long has your mom been in spirit?
She's been in spirit. Oh, that's a good, since 1995. So that's been quite a while. She died very young. She died at 47. I must have been about 27, 28 years old at the time.
Oh,
So yeah, it was, well, she passed. Listen, God takes you when he wants to take you.
I know.
So
Intellectually, we
yeah,
know that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's still.
And it's funny because I really believe in blueprints. I believe in the Akashic records. I believe in that our soul. I believe like there's like a checklist, and I just believe in this, that we have this blueprint, and we signed up for it. We signed up for the suffering. We signed up for the laughter. We signed up for our child. We signed up for the husband or the wife that we meet. We signed up for our friends, our sisters, our parents. We chose all that, and to live that on this playing field. So it's really funny when I talk to people, because, I don't do meditation that much. I'm not mediumship, I should say. I don't do mediumship that much, but I do get a weird connection with that. And it's funny how when people lose someone at a very young age, and it's because that spirit couldn't handle the I'm not going to say the complicity of this planet, because this planet has such a heavy, heavy weight. It has this compression, this gravity. So some of us can't handle that. So we check out.
Right.
But like we check out in however mannerisms that it happens. But we have to understand that that's their choice. That's their blueprint. And your blueprint is to understand that and learn from it and grow from it, and not to be so hard on yourself because of the tragedy or the tragic things that happen to your children or your husband or your grandparents
and that's the thing. So many humans get caught in that
grief. They stay stuck in their
grief.
grief, and they don't. Because I remember, it's really funny. I'm going to tell you a story. You're going to love this. The 44 days, they call it the 44 days. I don't know. It's something about Jesus when he died and when he was resurrected. And I think he walks the planet for 44 days. So the old Italian women would wear black.
Yes. Oh, my
cover the, in the Jewish community, they would cover the mirrors in the house because of reflection. You're not supposed to look at your reflection. I'm not even Jewish, but my friends who were Jewish, I was afraid to look in the mirror, because they freaked me out so much with that. Right? Like I was like, oh my God. But anyway, it's like that morning, it's like you have to let that break away from it, because I really believe that my mother did not want me to be in that state of depression for too long. I believe that she said, yes, I'm selfish. Yes, I left. This was my choice. But this is what you need to learn. This is what you need to, I felt my mom left me because I needed to grow up in the biggest, hardest way ever.
Where were you in your sibship? Were you the oldest, the youngest?
I'm in the middle. I got the, what's her name? The Jane syndrome or Janet, whatever that girl from the Brady Bunch. That's the syndrome I have.
And so is your dad still alive? No,
my father passed away 2 years ago after COVID, or during COVID, I believe. But he didn't die from COVID. He died of heart complications. And this is how it went. My father was sick in the summertime. My sister would call me all the time. Then my grandmother was sick. And then my cousins would call me, and my mother's mother, they called me all the time. My grandmother died on Thanksgiving. My father died on New Year's Eve, 2 funerals. Thanksgiving, I had to go to that funeral. And then New Year's, I had to do that funeral. So it was like that year, the festivities of Thanksgiving to Christmas was not fun at all. So during COVID, I was in denial of that action that happened. Like, did my father really die? Or did my grandmother just pass away? Am I alone now? Like, that orphan feeling, Right. But I'll tell you something. My mother's death really made me strong a bigger, stronger person for my grandmother and my dad. I
I
was
believe.
I was a really rock. I was a rock at the wake and the funeral. I was like the one that was telling everybody it's going to be okay. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you when I was I didn't want to be the pallbearer. I did not want to do that, but I did it for both. And I was like asking the universe, what is the lesson here? Is that you are like holding the
Right.
casket in my hand, was you were holding them. You're holding them all those years that they held you, you're holding them. So I took, oh, I got chills,
Yeah.
angel bumps. So yeah,
Yes.
well, anyway, that's the experience I have with that, Giuliana. Yeah.
And would you say, Louie, that your love and your connection with the angels helped you through all of
Um,
this more than if you didn't have that connection?
well, I didn't have it with my mom. Like I did not.
No,
That
because
came,
you were only 27, you
yeah,
said.
that came after like 32, 33. That's when I started to do the angel camps and all that kind of stuff.
And how
And
did you get like in that? I mean, you
involved.
were in a big circle because you were in the entourage for.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because, well, what happened was, um, the first year that Isabel and her girlfriend, they went to one of the events in California. Then they came back home and they talked and they talked and they talked. They wouldn't shut up. I'm like, well, now I want to go. Like, so then when they went for the second time, they were the help the second time around. So when I went the second time around, I was just a newbie, let's say, in that camp. And there was such an awakening and there was such this foundation of, wow, I understand, I get it. Yeah, I remember getting my how they call it, I got, you get your very first deck, they give it to you and then you shuffle it and and then you do readings on everybody and how you exchange money and all that, you understand. So, and then the following year from that, I was asked by I believe it was Charles, if I
Charles
would,
Virtue.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, if I wanted to come and help because they wanted more men to be
Yeah.
involved. And that was the year that year it was 44 men. There were 44 men. And 44 is like a big number.
Yeah, of
I know I
course.
yeah,
Right?
but I'll tell you, 4 is bad luck in China, in Japan.
Oh,
You don't, yeah,
uh,
you don't
thank
use
God
those
we're
numbers.
not Japanese
Yeah,
then.
but if anyone who's Japanese, they know who I'm talking about.
Right.
Chinese, you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about. They don't. Yeah, they know what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
get it. So because that's a bad luck number. Like
Oh,
13 is our bad luck number. Like I'm serious.
yeah.
So and there's a thing behind it and everything like that. But anyway, but 44 was the number. There were 44 guys, and then I believe it was her ex-husband who was doing the whole men camp thing. And that was really cool because we had this circle and women weren't there. It was just us guys. Charles was there, yeah, and all these men were there. We were just talking and sharing our point of view about this. And a lot of guys were like, well, my wife dragged me along, or my girlfriend dragged me along to this, and here
Yeah.
I am. And then we all just opened up to each other and we shared our feelings and what we wanted to do with spirituality. When it came to me, they asked me what I wanted to do. And I said, I have no idea. I can never go up on stage,
No?
ever. That's what I said. And then they all looked at me and they laughed and they said, you're going to be the first one on stage. You're going to be the first one on internet. You're going to be the first one doing videos. Are you kidding me? I'm like, but then, Julie, am I right? But then
Right.
you don't see that. I
Right.
didn't see that at all. So, um, and I see myself now. And you know what's really funny? At the time, my mother-in-law said that. She leaned over and she said, you're going to be big. I don't know when, but I see it. You're going to be big. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. But you know that you blow off all that stuff, and then years
I
later,
know, but
it
you
shows.
have
But
such an amazing energy, Louie. Like
thank
maybe
you.
let's plug your show a bit now because
Oh,
you have
sure.
that's how that was another reason that I knew you because Velva Dawn, my goddess teacher, I'll do a shameless plug to Velva Dawn Silver because she was
Mhm.
on 1-2 radio as well, and that you have your show
Yeah,
Healing Apprentice
yeah.
on 1-2 radio, but you also have I saw another one. Is that 2 different radio stations?
Well, I used to be on Angel Studio, and that's just me telling you that I used to be on this other network. And then from that
Oh,
network, I transitioned into the 1-2 Radio family, you
yeah.
know. And before I did 1-2 Radio, I was a reader first for, and still am for the 1-2 Listen.
Oh, one,
So
two, listen. That's what I
yeah.
was. I was.
Oh, okay. 1-2 Listen is they're separate.
Oh,
They're
there's.
but they're connected. Where 1-2 Listen is where you go there to that site to get readings from I would say from astrology to zoology, you know, from
Yeah.
A to Z and everything in between. And each advisor there on 1-2 Listen has their own a niche on what they do. Me, I'm all about angels, you
Right.
know, and all
That's like
that.
me too. So can we talk a little bit, because I heard you
Yeah.
say you don't really you don't do mediumship
Mm.
readings like per
Well,
se.
people do ask, and I say I'm not comfortable with it for some reason. Because it's only because when I was a kid, I dealt with it, like seeing dead people, like in the movie. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
wasn't seeing dead people. They would just whisper and talk, and I worked so hard to block it.
Oh, I
You
see.
know,
Okay.
so because I blocked it, I like where I'm at, and I have Archangel Azrael, who is the guardian of that world of transitioning. He will
Right.
not allow any distant spirit to come to me. Only angels. That's all I want. You
Yeah.
know.
Thank
But
you
I
for
do. I'm
mentioning
not
that.
lying to you. I'm not lying to you. I do feel. I do feel, and I always say not now. I'm not the one, or you know, I'm not. I'm just not prepared for it, or I'm not saying I can't. You know,
Right.
I don't want you to
I
tell you that
totally understand. So
I just don't.
is your predominant Claire, your predominant ability feeling then, or is it hearing, seeing, or
Well,
knowing?
well, actually, I'm cognizant. I
Yeah,
know, so
cognizant.
I know it before it happens, or I feel it in a way in my mindset, because I'm always in my head. But I do have all the clairs. I do feel all the clairs, and it all depends. Even the scent, Claire, the one that you
Yeah.
smell,
Right.
which is really really phenomenal. I'm sitting there. It's like I smell a cigar. There's nobody smoking a cigar by
Right?
me, or
Right.
there, or like old cologne from the 70s or the
Right?
60s that nobody wears, and you smell it. It could be women perfume, same thing. Like Gina Tay. Who smells Gina Tay? Who even
Right?
knows about Gina Tay? The only person were our aunts, our mothers, our grandmothers who took a bath
I
in
do,
that stuff.
because I'm the same age as you.
Oh, stop! But Gina Tay, but that it's a very pretty smell. It's a very beautiful
Right?
fragrance. So I'm not putting it down.
Yeah.
So not at all. So yeah, no, I'm more into the angel readings. I'm more into the angel guidance. I'm more in tune to which angel comes to me at that moment when I'm giving the reading. So let's say if Gabriel came in, that's about, oh, you need to learn, you need to start reading more, you need to teach, or you need to take a class, because the message from Gabriel is all about that.
Right.
See, you know, seeking wisdom, looking for wisdom, getting the knowledge like you need. I call it basically, she's like the big time hermit card. You know,
Right.
her,
And,
you know.
and incidentally, hi Connie, hi Rhoda. Archangel Gabriel is one of the only archangels that resonates female and male. And you'll hear Louie just referred to
Oh, I
her.
always.
And with Archangel Gabriel, that's why I'm in white today. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm in white today because on Thursdays,
I
I
was, you know what? My bathing suit is white.
is it
It was. I was in the backyard, but I'm not showing that picture.
for me, you silly guy. For me, I like to still wear their colors on their
Yeah,
days
yeah.
because then it
Well,
reminds me connect with them. Like if I need,
so do me a favor.
yes,
Not now, but when you get a chance, can you from Sunday through Saturday give me the chart of colors to wear?
sure,
Because you know why? I can't believe you're saying this. I got goosebumps everywhere.
yeah,
That's my mom. That was my mother's niche. That's what she did. She
that's
would I'm like freaking out right now because
see, that's where
Juliana,
there's no accidents, right? I'm
nope.
just going to see if
This is what she said, used to say to me. Oh, today is Monday. You better wear orange. Or today is Friday. Wear black. Don't wear that red. Take that red off. Put
I
black
will
on.
do that.
You know,
And
like
you
today's
know,
Wednesday. Let's say it's
right,
Wednesday.
right,
Wear white today. Like, you know, but what I usually do, I have a really, Brian, if you're watching this, if you ever get to watch this, he knows who he is. We don't even talk to each other. And when we you know, FaceTime each other, we have the identical clothes on every single time,
My
every time.
sister and I do that sometimes. It's
And
interesting.
it's so weird. He's in LA and I'm over here on the East Coast, in New Jersey. And we just look at each other like, what? You wearing black? Are you wearing blue? Do you have a headband on? Get out of here. Yeah. What color are your shoes? And we whip our feet up and like, no way. We got sandals on at this. It's funny. But
It's so beautiful. So before you pull us
oh no, I'm
card
just
or a
listening.
couple of cards, I just want to ask, like, I love my connections with, I don't know what you guys used to call yourselves, the Angel Crew or whatever, like Eric Evangelista,
Eric,
Arvin, and
yeah.
Susan Dintino,
Yeah, all them. I still am in touch with everyone on Eagle.
and
Everyone
Sherry.
they're all doing well. They're all doing
Good.
good. They're all doing fine, and they're one of the most. There was a connection we all had
Yes.
with them. You know what I'm saying? And because like it's really funny because we all had to do the same thing. We had to greet people. We had to calm people down. We had to, when I say calm people down, like seat them to
Right.
sit down. Don't be nervous. It's all good. What you call it? Bridget would just throw glitter all over you.
Right? Yes.
And whether you like the glitter or not, you're wearing glitter. So yeah, Sherry was great. Her son Austin was there. Who else was there? All of them. They're all doing fine. They're all doing
And you're
well.
still close with Charles and Paroshini. I don't know how you say
Yes.
the name, his wife. Yes.
Yeah, yes, we're all close.
So beautiful.
Yeah, and it's we are, our connection is at a very, very, our connection is basically how do I explain this? Okay. Their emails are private. I would never share that. Like their friendship and their it's private to me.
Right.
I do share that I know them, of course. I'm going to say, yeah, shout out to Rooftop, but I take that very personal, like with you as well. Like I wouldn't share your email with anybody unless you say, Louie, you can give it to that person, because I believe there's a certain level of respect and dignity that we give each other, and just to how can I explain this? I'm not there for the likes. I'm not there for the recognition of, because this person we think is super famous for whatever that they do, whether they're a rock star or a musician, actor, actress. They're people,
right,
with lives and hearts, and they're just a character. We tend to put people on a pedestal.
Yes, I'm glad you're talking about that.
Okay, and what we need to do is kind of bring it down, and not put us like, I don't want to be on a pedestal. I don't want to fall. I want to be an equal. I want to share this energy because I was there. I was like you. I had no knowledge, and then now I'm awakened and I have the knowledge, and now I can share the source of the angels with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can share my experience with breathing and breath work with everybody. I can share my aura with everybody. I can share my the clairs. I can share my angels. Gabriel, Michael, Uriel, and Raphael, because they're prominent. They're prominent to all of us. They're in our lives all the time, and we feel like I don't, because I don't know about you, and I'm sure you get this, and everyone who's out there. Stop looking for the angels. Stop looking for them because you want to see them and you want to know they have these big wings. And these are just symbols. It's a symbolism. This angel behind, I have one that's on my other side of the room, but this one is in prayer. So this is a message to pray. The other one's like this, which means, work on your heart. But my point is, what I'm trying to share is that those are just what the Renaissance did to angels. And then Christmas made them even fluffier, like made them cherubs, made them babies, made them cute. And they're not. They're powerful spirit. In the Bible, there's not one angel in the Bible that has a wing. They don't have wings. They come in human form. They come to us in human form. So I would say this, though. Wings are a representation of their aura, their
Right.
the halo.
Right.
And the reason why a halo is on certain saints or many saints is because they are part of the divine.
Right.
So that breaks what's it? The icon of that. It's a representation of they're not us. They are,
Right.
I wouldn't say above us, but they're just showing you that they are enlightened. They are spiritual beings that are here with this pure love energy to share with people on the planet.
Right.
That
And that's, I love that you're mentioning that, because the way that I've been taught, of course they were winged beings, and so when I visualize, pretend, intend that they're with me, that's how my
yeah,
human needs to connect with them. However, for me, they come through as light, and
yes,
I'll see
true,
sparkles or flashes,
yes, yeah,
and it's a feeling. I'm a
mhm,
feeler.
yeah,
I'm clairsentient with the cognizance as
yep.
my secondary, and learning to listen, just like the card you pulled for me the other day was a reminder. Yes, listen, because what I'm getting. And then seeing is my last one. And because I grew up much like you, I didn't want to see scary things. I was never afraid of death. I was one of the very first altar girls in Canada.
Well, two
Yeah.
movies, two movies destroyed me. You ready?
Which one?
Exorcist and Jaws. Bottom
Yeah.
line.
Right?
So done.
Absolutely.
So
Carrie
every
is my number 3. I
right.
do not like scary things, and so my angel team knows, like Miss G does not like scary shit. So like I need
So
to
it's
see.
okay. Well, I just don't care for scary movies. That's all. It's
Yeah,
not part
I
of
don't
my.
I
It's
don't
not in my.
care.
Like movies like that. They're not in my vortex. So I'm fine. Hey, listen, if I can watch the Hallmark Channel all year long, I'm there
Can I
because that's
ask
what I
you a
do.
really personal question? And
Of
you
course.
can tell me if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
off limits. But like a lot in the spiritual world don't believe in hell. And it's not a judgment. It's just I'm curious, because
Do I
in my
believe in hell?
practice, I really had to, because I'm so connected to Mother Mary, I believe in hell. And I had an experience just a month ago where I did the Archangel Michael prayer, because I do prayer Wednesdays as an active service in many different communities. And so I did the Archangel Michael prayer where he says, throw Satan. Anyways, I
I
did
got you.
that prayer, and somebody said there is no hell. And I said, well, I happen to believe in it. And I left it at that. And then she cut me off. So I was like, I know this is about her,
Okay.
but what's your
Well,
belief?
I believe. Okay, I believe there's a purgatory. I believe there is a certain element where our spirit, if it's not in line the proper way, will go to a place to be checked and judged. You know, I don't believe God is judgmental. I don't believe God is evil. I don't believe God is going to punish us. I don't believe in none of that, because I always said spirit does not do that. But but I believe in our repercussions. So for every action that we do, there's a reaction. So if you do positive things come to you. If you do negative things come to you. If you lack of love comes to you. If you're in love with yourself, love is surrounding you. You get that energy. And this happened to me. This happened to me actually 3 weeks ago, because I didn't understand why all these friendships were whacking out on me. And then I realized that I wasn't in line in love. I literally stepped out of that love energy because I was so focused on wanting, being, needing, and all that. So with that came the reaction from my actions. So I stepped back and said to myself, I need to line my chakras. I had to line my aura. I had to line my breathing. I had to focus on I am a creation of God. God is love, and I am love. And I literally had to stop that, giving it to everybody and wanting it to come back. So what I did is I just focused on self-love, and then all of that went away. Like night and day. Within 2 weeks, it just turned the dial. And none of the naysayers or none of the people that are like judgmental or they like to curse, they're just out. out.
And that's the thing that I found really interesting, because like my Facebook is pretty like no drama. I do
Yeah.
my best to nip it in the bud, even when
Mhm.
she said, I don't believe in hell, there is no hell. And I said, I have a belief. That was it. Like I didn't challenge her. So
Yeah.
I knew
Me,
her.
usually what I do, and I don't mean this to be rude in any aspect, the minute you throw a red flag at me, delete. Done. You're done. You know, basically, like I believe like Instagram and Facebook, these likes or these people, sometimes they could be an algorithm. I don't know from what
Right.
they tell me. But if someone's going to take their time to judge you for what you're talking about, and I believe me, guys, I don't mean this in a rude way. I'm just gonna unfriend you because you're not in line with me or my teaching or my energy. That's all.
Yeah. And
So it's
that's
okay, and it's okay, and don't try to save them. Like don't.
no, and I didn't.
Yeah,
I just, I said
yeah,
to my friend, "Oh, isn't that interesting?" I went to message her because she's an amazing being. She's an amazing channel.
yeah,
And on her birthday, she would give us readings.
yeah,
And so I missed her. I went
yeah,
to
yeah.
message her, and oh, she wasn't my friend anymore. So I was like, isn't that interesting? I didn't take it personal.
No,
I just said,
don't.
okay,
No, I'll be.
whatever.
This is what I'm going to tell you with stuff like that. That you let go day one. I remember in the very beginning how my heart felt, how I didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. If that, if your gut's telling you, your core values or your true intuition is not feeling good, then you know that person is not in their, they're not aligned. Okay, so delete, let it go. You don't listen. It's a world of its own. I don't need to be part of that world. I don't want to
Right.
be part of the world.
You're
Uh,
so right. You're so right. And it
it's a
has
fake.
to be an
And
evolution.
I'm not saying it's a fake world or a real world. It's a world that if the energy is going to turn around and take the words that you're saying and turn it around for their benefit, then goodbye, delete. I don't need that energy. If you're there to say, Louie, I don't understand. Can you explain to me? What do you mean by Archangel Michael is a protector? How does he protect? What do you mean Raphael's a healer? How does he heal? And then I will take the time and let them know this is the. But if you're going to turn around and say, my cousin died from this and that and the other thing, and they prayed, and I believe this is nonsense. Well, then, if you believe this is nonsense, why are you listening to me? Why are you engaging and turning this conversation to a negative instead of spinning it to a positive? That's my point. So
Right.
delete, delete, delete.
Yeah,
Cancel, clear, delete, like the Lord,
exactly.
and you just
And
move
send
on.
them love, right?
So,
Send
yes,
them
just send
love.
them love. They'll
And
find it.
because for me, I need angels like
Yeah,
oxygen. And
exactly.
when I went through, I did you have like any type of a catalyst that made you really tune into the angels? Like
Yeah, and
maybe share with us, because
Archangel,
people
the
know my story, but we don't know your story.
it was the angel Gabriel who is the one who pushed. Oh, I got chills
Yeah.
because this angel is actually in the Bible, in biblical sense, in the Bible, Archangel Gabriel is masculine. Okay,
Yes.
Archangel Gabriel became feminine during the Renaissance time, and then during the 1900s or maybe the late 1800s, early 1900s, when they decided to make angels on cards, when giving out Christmas cards was starting a new thing, a new trend. And I believe it was in England when it started the trends of sending out cards to people. They had
Right.
the
Christmas cards.
Christmas cards.
Yeah.
And if I don't know how the history goes so far back. For those that know the history of Christmas cards, please enlighten us and share your
Right.
knowledge with us, because it's just one of those things I tell people I forget. I don't know. But then Gabriel became feminine energy with that. It's fine. It's like it's how you take it. But during that time, it was a feminine energy of Archangel Gabriel coming to me and sharing with me, you need to speak, you need to write, you need to talk. And I'm like, oh shit, do I? I'm not ready for this. And here I am. And that was about, oh God, I would say 2002, 2006, and then later. Yeah. So the early 2000s is when that all started. And then I did my first website and I had to put all this information in, and it goes on. And I'm going to recreate a new Like I'm going to do a new website. Like I want to do a new energy. I want to take out the old Lou, put in the new Lou, because I feel every 7 years, our spirit, our body, our mind changes because it's like shedding a snake skin or
Right.
shedding or like a dog or a cat when they shed their hair. It's the same thing. You're shedding it off. So our spiritualness sheds its self off as well. And a new aura comes on and a new energy comes on because the things that you're talking about today were not the things you were talking about 7 years
Oh,
ago.
absolutely. If you would have
Amen.
even told me that I would be, doing
Yeah.
interviews on Facebook Live, I would be like, who, me? Not
Yeah.
me. I was the one that hid in the background. I was, no, not me. But I think, like I was sharing yesterday with you, Louie, when we were doing the breathing exercise, I turned 59 this year and it was like a light bulb went off.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm sure people have seen that meme where midlife is like when the universe takes you by the shoulders and says, like, the time is now. The time
Yeah.
is now.
But you know what? Honestly, Giuliana, you went through that. You lived that. That's done. You went through that already. You don't have to worry about that happening again. Like that midlife crisis is not happening again.
Well,
Um,
it's
you're
something.
you're yeah, you're aligned. You're aligned.
Oh,
You
thank
know.
you.
No,
Thank you.
you're okay. Don't worry. I will promise you this. Next year, 2024, when we both turn into the 60 number, we're going to have fun. It's going to be like the best thing that ever. It's the new chapter in our lives. And we're going to take the 60s as that chapter, as you know what? I'm 40 again. That's all.
Exactly. Well, that's my intention. That's why I'm getting laser focused on what do I want?
Yeah.
My mentor asked me that about 4 years ago. And
The 4 years ago, you were ready 4 years
yeah, I
ago,
wasn't. And
like you are
I
today.
like, I honestly, I don't know. I knew what society wanted and I knew what, my
Yeah.
family, I knew what they wanted, but I didn't know what I really
Yeah.
wanted on a soul level. What do I want? And now I ask myself that every day. When things don't feel good, I'm like, is that what I want?
Yeah. If it doesn't feel good, you don't do it.
Yeah, let's just see what Holly says.
Sure.
She says, let me just see
Hi,
here.
Holly. How are you?
Let me just see. Maybe it's too much. Your
Okay.
beliefs are followed and loved by so many. In my angel community, I have many that don't believe in hell. I struggled for years, but now I listen. I just keep my teachings positive. Yeah, I was only asking Louie because as a predominant teacher voice in this community, I was just curious, especially with the Catholic background, or maybe
Yeah.
I'm making an assumption.
No, well, this is what I'm going to say about the whole heaven and hell thing. I'm going to just cut it like a beautiful birthday cake with a nice, sharp knife. Bottom line, whatever you believe in is what you believe in. That's your
Right.
belief system, whether you believe in hell or not. I am not going to sit here and change your belief because that's not what I'm here about.
Right. Me
You know,
either. I'm not.
no, but I'm sure, and to what she was saying is, true. You don't have to believe in hell. It's fine. You can believe that heaven is heaven. And when we die, no matter what we do, we go straight to heaven. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. There's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that belief, you
And
know?
and I say that often to
Yeah.
my students.
No.
It's not good or bad, right or wrong, because that's what I learned as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, like, for my own, because we've been in a community where
I grew up Roman Catholic. So the hell part, the purgatory part, it's embedded in my mind and in my
me
psyche.
too, right? And
So
even
I do.
Mother Mary.
I basically I pray and I'm always with angels, and there is no way that I'm even going to even go there because I know when it's my time that the graces of all these angels that I talk to every day and I share their love and light to everyone, they're going to come and grab my spirit and
Well,
I'm
that's why I love Archangel
for
Azrael
yeah,
so
yeah,
much,
yeah,
because
yeah.
when I grew up, he was the angel of death and he
Mm-hmm.
was dark and black. And then when I learned about him, and I loved when you said he's the archangel of transitions. And so he not only helps us, with transition from earth back to heaven, but he also helps us through work transitions or relationship transitions or whatever types of
And
transitions.
most of all, he is amazing with grief.
He is, right?
So if you're grieving, call on Archangel Azrael to help you, because he will warm that heart up and let all that cascade away.
Right.
You know,
And that's
and
so important to the
you know,
human condition.
and I always tell people, Giuliana, we all mourn in our own way. We mourn in our own time. And like my grandmother, God rest her soul, would always say, just, it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to miss. You know, I don't miss my mom on holidays. I miss her on off days, like for no
Right.
reason, you know, or accomplishments. Let's say I'm taking a test and I get 100 on the test, and then people are, you know, they're like, Louie, this, and I'm like, you know, I would love to share that with my mom. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? She's there. She's with me, and she helped me get through it.
Right.
You know?
Right. And we know that. And that's why I love doing the work that we do, because when you connect to that divinity each day, it's just like, you know what?
Just kind of,
No matter what, it's going to be okay. It's going to be
yeah.
okay. So, interesting, because we're at 1:58 here and we haven't even pulled a card, and I want to honor your time today. So maybe can you share with us a couple of cards
Sure.
for our listeners today?
Oh, I'm going to share what's coming through, and we're going to start with self-acceptance, the importance of self-acceptance, knowing that how amazing you are, you know, knowing that not to let things hold you back, just to be bold, be courageous, be optimistic, and do what you're passionate about. But self-acceptance is very important. When self-acceptance comes, you have to listen and express your inner truth. When Archangel Gabrielle comes through, she talks about inner truth. So know thyself, know yourself, know what's good for you, know what's bad for you, know, you know, how to align yourself with that. Then unconditional joy. So basically that's Archangel Raphael coming in and saying to us, what makes you happy? You know, it could be a new pet in your life. It could be a puppy. It could be a kitten. It could be an adopted animal. Bring that into your life if you can. If you can. If not, know the importance of helping and appreciating everything that comes in your way. Now, when I was talking to Archangel Michael is talking about our loved ones are safe. So if we have okay, so with this card is basically saying to me, whoever you had as a friend, a mother, grandma, child, friend who has passed on, that they're safe. And they're letting you know that they're with you and that they're safe. And that's what I got with that. And one of the biggest thing is when it comes to change in our lives, roll with the change. Just roll with the change, because when I get five can also cause negative feelings and thoughts of like, oh my God, I can't do this and what's going on. Don't do that to yourself. Think positive thoughts, get rid of those negative thoughts, because you don't want to have those dark thoughts or those negative thoughts actually come to fruition. So you want to block those out and just focus on positive energy and positive insight. And basically, that's the message that the angels want us to know.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Big message. I mean, the thing is about self-acceptance, you know, in order to truly love others, we must love ourselves first. And
because I've been saying that for days, you know, but we do that to ourselves. You know, we kind of like push that away. What's the word I'm trying to say here? We kind of
sometimes,
we help too many,
right?
and we forget ourselves trying to help everybody else, or we try to be the rescuer, the hero. You know, and what happens to heroes? They, you know, they fall, they get hurt, they get wounded, they have a weakness, and whatever that vulnerability is for you, you got to work on that so you don't let this cascade over you. You know, so that happened to me. You know, the past month and a half or 2 months with my breathing and going to the doctors and seeing my breathing was bad or eradicated, and I didn't know what was going on. Anxiety was coming on. I give this anxiety all up to COVID. Not that I had COVID, the lockdown.
Right.
Because
Right.
my spirit got like shut. and I was suffocating in my own house. And on my body, I'm an Aries, I'm like, I got to do
Fire.
things like, like I got to, like I'm always doing something. So yeah, so I align myself with that. So work on yourselves. It's okay. Listen, it's okay to take a pause in your life and say, hey, I need to work on myself. Whether it's a massage, getting a manicure, getting a pedicure, getting your hair done, going out to the mall and putting on a new foundation or new makeup. And it costs nothing to do that. Get a gift certificate from a friend, or find out if there's sales out there and just do it. You don't have to spend a lot. Same thing with vacation, like staycation. Well, for me, staycation was a lot, but but yeah, but that cost me. But what I'm trying to share is just like the importance of self love, and to honor thy love, and to honor yourself, and to know that the angels are always with you and giving you the guidance and wisdom. And like I said the other day with you, how Athena, the goddess of wisdom, is with us. That presence is with us. I would consider Athena energy close to the masculine of Merlin. The Merlin,
Oh,
not yeah. So if there was a masculine of the wisdom to come in, well,
yeah.
Merlin is magic, but so was Athena.
But
She had the
also
magical.
wisdom, that
Yeah,
yeah, I could see one the divine masculine, one that divine feminine. And interesting because Merlin and Athena are both in my energy this week. So funny, not funny, but
but it's funny. Yeah,
amazing
so
that you're mentioning that. So
yeah,
just to remember, because what I'm hearing is, we what my angels are saying is we are never alone, even when we feel alone.
that's what
And
I
the
say. Yeah, good.
angels, we must ask them for help, and they will always support us in the highest and greatest good. Louis mentioned self acceptance with Archangel Gabriel, female. Archangel Gabriel, female, is very soft and reminding you you're safe to speak up. And then Archangel Raphael with radical joy. All of you know my alliance with Joy and Vitality here in Calgary. It's helped me save my own life, being, you know,
Yeah,
going, falling in love with yoga and being a part of that. And then also with Archangel Michael and the fives with changes and not being in the fear of change. Change is good.
yeah.
It's like
But
Louis
see, but
saying those
but
7 year
we tend to,
cycles,
yeah. Change is
shedding.
good, but we sometimes are afraid of change, or
Right.
we don't want
Absolutely.
change, or we don't like change. We like the
Right.
same stuff. So, and I'm going to share this with you. I don't like change. I like my coffee in the morning. That's me. My little quirks. But I I have to accept the change, the move, new car, new location, new job, new insight. New websites, new
New
channels.
opportunities, Louis.
Yes. Huh?
New
Yes.
opportunities to
Yeah,
teach
new
us.
opportunities. Yes. So welcome that. Welcome that energy. Welcome all of it, and have the angels help you. I love what you said, that you're not alone. I love the fact that you said it, because I say it all the time on my radio show, on 1-2 Radio, over on the in the internet world, where
Yes.
I state it every week that your guardian angel is always with you. So if you need to talk, have that really hard conversation with yourself and that angel, and say, damn it, angel, when is this going to change? How are you going to show me? And boy, let me tell you, it will. It will just happen overnight.
Can we share
Yeah.
before I pull a card to close? Because I loved what you taught me yesterday, and I would love for you to share with our listeners today. I was sharing with you how the other day my angels said, go and get Angela's deck.
Yeah.
And Angela Hartfield is in spirit. She's an amazing, just an amazing human who created all these amazing decks. And she passed of cancer, and she's got
Yeah.
a big place in my heart. I met her a few years ago at one of our Goddess Shine events, and she's created many beautiful decks. And one they just brought out, I can't remember if it was Whispers of the Ocean. No, I can't remember. Anyways, her name is Angela Hartfield.
Everything's
And
on Amazon.
yeah,
All
it's
her
all
work
on
is on Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah. Or
And
on the whatever, what's the name of the company of the
this is Blue Angel Publishing. So you can
Blue
go to,
Angel? You can go
yeah,
on the
Blue
Blue
Angel
Angel
Publishing.
website, or Amazon has all her decks,
And
all her cards.
I am concentrating on healing every day. And Louis said to me, this is your deck.
Yeah.
You take this deck, you
Yeah.
put it in a beautiful bag, if you desire. If not, that's okay.
Leave
But
it in the box. It's
on your
fine.
night
But
table.
yep.
And every morning you pull a card. And so this morning I did that, and I almost cried because what they told me was right on. And so this deck I'm keeping just for me. It doesn't mean that I won't do messages for other people, but a lot of times I share the messages that I get. And Louis
But what I
guided
was sharing with you with that is that particular deck is your deck. If you want to
right.
do readings of that deck, get a different deck to do the reading.
Oh, okay.
Because that's your energy. That's
Okay,
yours. That's your
this is just mine
yes.
now.
Yeah. But
People.
you could if you want to use that deck to share, do it. But from this point, get another one and use that
Okay.
deck to share. But that one goes in your room, by your heart, by your side. Okay.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
what I meant by personal deck.
Oh, so that's what I want you guys, if you feel guided and you have decks, you know, take what Louis is sharing with us, because that's a beautiful teaching, so that you can cultivate your relationships with
your
angels, because they're with you. And I remember the first time, Louis, I'm going to make you laugh because I didn't share this. When they first came to me, I wasn't a seer, I'm a feeler. But I remember one time they came to me and they were like, if you don't ask us for help, they were like workmen outside. They said, it's just like having the workmen outside. If you don't ask me for help, we can't help you. And I was like, okay, I get it. And so then when I started asking for help, then I saw them all clapping for me. I remember the day I told my mom that. I made her laugh because I was like, they're like, you know, Giuliana, we're bored. If you don't ask us for help, we're bored.
Yep.
Because they're only for us.
Yep.
Right?
They
Our
are.
guardian angels are
for us.
only for us. They're gifts
and
from
it's
Creator.
funny because when we were talking, Haniel came in, and when Archangel Haniel comes in, the Haniel's, you know, associated with the moon and how we seek for satisfaction for ourselves, and just to fan that flame of inner happiness for yourself. Because Haniel's really good with opening up the heart to the moon and the cycles of the moon and the energy of the moon. So that's a good thing to,
He is
good
a
point.
very beautiful angel.
Yeah.
Connie's asking two questions that I would love to address.
Yeah,
Because
I'm in no
she's
rush.
new to our world, spiritual world. She asked us about feathers, and then she asked, how do you ask? How do you ask for help, Louis?
You just say, I need help. It's simple. It's not complicated. It's I know you listen, we can make it complicated, but I'm telling you, I rest assured you don't have to make it complicated. All you need to do is sit somewhere quiet, close your eyes, put your hands together, and ask your guardian angels or archangels or whoever you're connected to in the angelic realm. Ask them to come, show you, guide you, and they will come. They will show you. And that's why I was explaining to Giuliana, I tell everybody, if you have an oracle deck that you love, and there's so many, you can go into the Amazon world and just seek out the deck that you feel is good for you. Keep that with you, shuffle that deck, take a card out of that deck, and that message is your angel telling you what you need to know.
And Connie, you'll know. Thank you, dear Louis. Connie, you'll know by how it feels.
Yeah.
Because in our world, we always say you take what resonates and you throw out the rest. So sometimes I might get somebody to do a reading for me, and I might be like, yeah, that's not really resonating with me, except I might not be open to hearing it in that moment.
I always say that.
Right?
Like, it might not make sense at this moment, but in time, it's going to make sense.
You know what they're telling me? Testaduro. They're telling me I have a hard head.
Yeah.
I know at times I've had a hard head. They make me laugh. That's it.
And you know what's funny, because I'm going to share with you guys out there, because I know Giuliana and myself, we do angel readings all the time. So when we get angel readings from others, sometimes we say, I don't know about that, but you know what? You get it with a light grain of salt. And then what they said a week later, I'm like, oh my God, she was on point.
Right?
Even though it doesn't make sense at that moment, I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
And it's like, sometimes I'll go to do readings and I'm like, oh no, that card, that can't possibly be the card. So then I'll shuffle again and it'll come back and I'm like, really? Okay, angels. Like when you ask them for help, they will bring it. And cards are one medium, if you will. Feathers, Connie.
Feathers are representation of that they're talking to you. They're telling
Right,
you to listen or look for them, and they're when you see feathers, it's a symbolism of I'm with you.
right.
Okay, you're not alone. So take it like that.
Yeah,
That's my interpretations of feathers.
me
I
too.
don't see feathers. I used to. Now I see butterflies out of
Me
nowhere.
too. And I
But yeah,
see.
yeah, and or a dragonfly or something that's like out of the ordinary. But it's like I don't know why the insect world is talking to me in the weirdest way, but I'm like, okay, that means something, like so. But
Yeah, Connie, you'll know how it feels, right, Louis? It's like, I mean, you could see a rainbow, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's a sign. But when you see a rainbow and you have a feeling of maybe a loved one in spirit, or maybe your angel is with you, or you get a download on, oh, you were asking this question on, should I take this job, or should I take this trip, or should I go out with this person, or whatever the case
right.
might be,
and
and you get a hit. We
and
call it a hit,
that's
right?
basically if you do see a rainbow, just know that's Archangel Raziel coming through.
Yeah.
Because Archangel Raziel is the angel of dreams, the angel of the rainbow, the angel of color, all colors, the vibrancy. It's the prism energy that this angel has. So pay attention to your dreams if you see rainbows. Because it's a promise. It's a promise of what God said to humans. But my
Right.
point is that when you see a rainbow, it's there's luck at the end of on the bottom, the
Yeah,
pot of gold. But
exactly.
it's a representation of good luck is coming.
I mean,
I love seeing her. It's funny because you brought that up because when my mom passed away, we're going back many years ago. After her wake was done, when we stepped outside, there was a really, really hard shower rain, and when that rain stopped, when I went into my backyard, I got two rainbows, and I'm like, wow, that really blew me. I got chills. That blew me away. So every time I see a double rainbow, like two rainbows, I always think of my mom.
yeah,
Always.
I love that, Louis. And she's come up a few times. So I love that your mom came
Yeah,
as
yeah,
mothering energy for
yeah,
us today.
yeah.
I love that you took the time to share with me. I want to
Sure.
pull us a card so
Go
that
ahead.
you get a message too, if it resonates. I'm gonna make you laugh because I brought my oldest deck,
Okay. Oh, I love it.
Daily Guidance,
Yes,
because
daily
it
guidance. It's
is
a good
my
deck.
very first deck. It actually was with the four, right? With
Mhm.
Life Purpose,
Yes.
Archangel, the Romance Angels, and Archangel Raphael.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to ask, I'm just going to ground, and I'm going to see, what message do we all need to know today? Louie and me and our listeners, and those that are going to be guided to watch us on the replay, and even down the road when one day we're not here anymore. Let's just,
It's
oh,
okay.
this one doesn't want to go back. Oh my goddess. Ask.
See, that's for
See
her.
that?
That's
See
for
that, Connie? Connie's
that's
on
for
the
Connie.
Camino right now. Connie did the Alps alone. She's a warrior goddess.
Okay.
She's a new friend of mine. So this is for all of us. Ask. Ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. Now, Louis mentioned the moon. You'll see there, I mean, that's not only the moon, it could be a halo.
Mhm.
You'll see
Yeah.
this beautiful angel in prayer position. Prayer is one way to ask. You
Always.
might ask yelling and screaming. When I was scared, a lot of times God and the angels can handle it.
Yeah.
You
Of
might
course.
sing it, you might write it, whatever way that feels good to you, you must ask because of divine free will.
That
And
is one of my favorite cards in that deck. It's one of my favorite cards. And you know what I'm going to do because you pulled that card out? I am going to post it on social media now for you. So you do the
right?
same.
I love
Amen.
it, Louis, because that is the cardinal rule, everybody, is that it doesn't matter who you are, whether you are the amazing Louis Otero or you're little old me getting on the scene now and bursting out
Yeah.
saying, you know what? You guys all have your angels.
Yep.
All of us were
Yep.
given these amazing light beings,
Yes.
angel, messenger of God. Don't get hung up on the God. If you don't believe in God, whatever that universal
The universal law comes to you.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
that
the
you
spirit that you
believe
could be in. We all
in,
have our niche, so it's okay. And whatever your niche is, just go with it. And tell
right?
Connie just to her guardian angel is going to definitely be with her and give her a definite answer.
Yes,
Don't be afraid to ask, because that card did not come out for no reason.
right?
Ask came out, so that was directed directly to her and
And
everybody, of course, but
right, for all of us,
all of us. Yeah.
remember that. Louie is available on 1-2 Radio. We will
Yes.
post that link, and
Mhm.
also Louie, your website, because people are
Every
asking
Wednesday night on
where,
the East Coast at 9 o'clock, I'm on air.
so that they
If you're in the Pacific, that's 6 o'clock.
see. So
Yeah.
it's 6 o'clock once
Mhm.
a week on
On
Wednesdays, right?
Wednesday, that's my live show, but it's recorded. It's on demand on the 1-2 Radio site. So if you want to listen to any of my shows, it's pre-programmed. It's on there. Go at it. It's so much fun. And if you want a
Beautiful.
reading with me, feel free to go on to 1-2 Listen and find my face, and I'll be there, and I'll be more than happy to give you an angel reading.
Oh,
More than
I
happy.
loved this so much with you today, Louie. Thank you for blessing me with
No,
your
thank you for
beautiful angel
having me. I
energy. Oh,
told you, I appreciate you asking me. I'm so honored. You have
you
no
know,
idea.
I'm glad that I got over the like, should I? Should I? And my angels are like, just ask. What
Yeah.
you
See, you
know?
got the ask card. So just ask.
Like, I know. Just ask,
Just
everybody.
ask.
Ask for what it is. And with this, I just want to say my angels are reminding us to let go of outcomes. When
Oh,
you
absolutely.
ask, because yesterday we got the divine surrender, and Louis had pulled, I'm going to share the reading because it was powerful. It was God box. So when you ask, you know, you can write it on a piece of paper and put it into some kind of box that you can label as a God box. It's your ask box. It's between you and the divine.
Yep. No
And
one
you
has to
put
read it.
your
It's your
dreams,
personal little
desires,
box.
wishes
Mhm.
in there. Just ask
And be patient.
and be patient
It's
and
not,
allow the
don't
divine.
make your prayers like a Christmas list.
Right.
Don't do that. Just be genuine with your prayers. Be
Okay.
genuine with the questions that you ask, and know that it's going to work and it's going to happen, but not tomorrow, not this minute, not this second, but in time. Just let the energies just, oh my, because God works the same way. He works the same way.
Oh, our dear Helen from Ireland is on too. Love you, Helen. Thank you for showing up. Dear Louie, thank you for being with
I
me
love being
today.
here. Thank you. I'll be
Dear
back
Louie
anytime you
Otero,
ask me. I'd be more than happy to come back on.
oh,
No problem,
good.
Juliana.
Maybe we can do it again sometime. I
Yes.
love
Whenever you're
that.
ready, feel free to ask.
Feel free to ask.
Feel
See,
free to ask.
everybody, so much love and appreciation to you, dear Louie, and to all of you for tuning in today. You can catch Louie on 1-2 Listen and on 1-2 Radio, and we will post those links in the comments when we're done. I've also streamed this to YouTube, and I will share over the next few days. We would love your feedback because I'm here to share. It's talking, but it's more than that. It's connection. And
Yes.
that's what we need more of. So go out in the world and share your light with others. On behalf of Louie and I, namaste, everybody.
Namaste, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. Angel blessings.
Bye, everybody.